Hello and welcome, my Aries friends. This is Jennifer from Mystic Star. I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today and watching this video. This is going to be my group reading for December for my Aries friends. Today we're going to look at what it is you can do to overcome those challenges and really enjoy your month. So for the reading today, I'm going to be using the Everyday Witches Tarot, and then I'm also going to be using the Energy Oracle. Like always, there's links below to both these fantastic decks, so should they speak to you, you can go check them out for yourselves. Alright, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to start off with the Energy Oracle. We're going to look at what can my Aries friends expect for the month of December. And that's a woman holding a coin. What a beautiful card to start off December. That abundance and wealth is going to really be shining through. Not only that, that feminine energy is really going to be kind of hitting home for you, my Aries friends. That feminine divine is going to be very important. Alright, I'm a taroista at heart, so here we go. Let's see what the tarot cards have in store for my Aries friends. What can my Aries friends expect for the month of December? Wow, I don't know if you guys caught that on camera. This card was flipped over in my shuffle. So he is definitely your card this month, my Aries. The Magician. The first card in the Major Arcana, and he speaks about your gifts and abilities. Those attributes that we have, that we are using, but we also add in those everyday aspects, those four minor arcana, the sword, the pentacle, the cup, and the wand. We use them to our benefit and make them our own. What these two cards are talking about this month is that when we use our skills and abilities and we don't force things, we allow that natural energy to flow through us, that we're really going to get a lot more done this month. That magical energy is coming through. There's a very powerful energy that comes through as we kind of creep through December. We get into Yule and Christmas, and then we get into the new year. These very times of changing and family are very important. And as more and more people are connecting in and amplifying and exuding that loving, positive energy, we really do see an energetic shift near the end of the month, especially after the 20th of December. So let's look at what's going to be the challenge for my Aries friends for December. What's going to cross the woman holding a coin and the Magician. Before I flip over this card, something that's really caught my attention is that we'd have two black cats. Now, the Everyday Tarot has cats in all of them, but interestingly enough, this black feline energy is really kind of coming through here a little bit. Both of them looking at their person, and really that connection piece is going to be important. There's a lot of myths around cats and black cats in particular, but that feline independent energy is really coming forth on both those cards. Okay, let's go into this. The Six of Pentacles. Sixes are that aspect of trying to keep your energies and your mindset focused in and balanced through all the tasks, people, places that we have to go to, be with, and connect with. There's a lot of things we need to try and get done to make quote-unquote the perfect holiday for our friends and family, and we're really literally going to be pulled in every direction. This witch has people at both ends trying to push her and pull her. It's going to be very important for you to try and balance where you should be focusing your energies. Let's get into December a little bit more. What does the first part of December look like for my Aries friends? The Nine of Swords. Nines are all about that hard work, all that we've overcome and achieved. The swords are about truth and knowledge. Well, the Nine of Swords really talks about all those kind of, that build up. We have lived through, seen, and been through a lot. That build up can really kind of feel overwhelming at times. The Nine of Swords is known as the anxiety and depression card. And the first part of the month, Aries, is going to be a bit harder for you. You're really going to be impacted by all these past experiences, this pushing and pulling, the demands. Not to mention, we're also looking at the nights getting longer in North America. We are impacted greatly by the lack and limited sun. All these things are really going to come to kind of a bit of a head for you at the beginning of December. Let's look at the middle of December. What can my Aries friends expect for the middle of December? The Five of Swords. This conflict. So we go from that internal feelings to those external explosions, if you will. The Five of Swords really talks about that interpersonal battles that we have. When one person is trying to really get their way and demands and then explodes on you, I'm really kind of seeing that family-friend drama that builds up around Christmas time. And this is kind of the build-up right around the middle of the month that you'd be looking at people's energies running really high and colliding with each other. Important part of the middle of December is going to be really taking that high road, because people are going to share their icky, yucky feelings with you, and it's going to be up to you well, how do you deal with that? A head-on confrontation will only bring more anger and more problems. Sometimes it's taking that step back, critically thinking, where is that person at, and then moving on. Because let's be honest, sometimes people they're drama magnets. They want to really pull this, or stir the pot almost, especially at the family events and large gatherings, because the attention is really sought on them. Let's look at the end of the month. What will my Aries friends expect for the end of December? The Four of Cups. The Four of Cups will bring you up to the new year, my Aries friends. Fours are a foundational stability number. So you are going to get kind of out of this personal, funky feeling from the beginning. You're going to be able to, and thankfully, overcome the drama of large groups. Christmas and the holidays always bring out family members and people that you may not want to spend a lot of time with, and they're really going to stir that pot. You're going to be able to have that stability. And the guy here that has his hand in his head, it's like, oh my god, I can't believe I just went through all that. That's really the energy I'm getting. We're really going to have to make sure not only are we balanced okay, but again, I'm drawn back to these two cats. That independent energy is going to play key. We're really going to find that solace and refuge is going to be needed throughout December, and give you that time to be able to recharge from this, but also do some healing and caring of self. The Four of Cups also talks about that next stage. We're going to be getting into the new year, we're stepping into 2020, and there's always that excitement of new and change and evolution. We have the Holy Grail coming floating in. At the end of the year, you're going to have some time, and it will be important to make sure you have that time where you can go in and reflect on this past year. What's more, reflect on this past decade. We're starting a new decade here. We're starting 2020. There's been a lot that's happened. Some really, really amazing, and some stuff that you're like, you know what, I don't want to do that again. Lesson learned. What's more is that there's something more to come. What should 2020 look like for you? What more could you do? How can you keep that evolution and transformation and spiritual development and personal development continue? December is going to be kind of a roller coaster for you. The important piece, focusing in on those positive, loving aspects. The sun will continue to rise. There is a lot of fantastic pieces that you have come from and overcome. It's focusing in on them and that new day, bringing in that energy of light and love. When things are getting really chaotic, making sure that you're grounding yourself. Pull that magician's energy in. Do those skills and coping mechanisms that you have to make sure you can overcome this. And then allow yourself that decompression time. So I hate to say it, but let's look at the challenges, because this is just what the month is going to bring. What challenges will my Aries friends face in the beginning of December? And I have two cards. One was overturned and the other one was right under, or well, when I pulled this card was underneath. Right side up. I'm not sure why we have two cards that are right side up, but hey, the deck was well shuffled before. We have the Ace of Swords. And he's connected into the Eight of Swords. You have a lot of swords here at the beginning of the month and into the middle of the month. That truth and knowledge piece is going to be really important. There's going to be a lot of knowledge that's going to come up and really not only niggle some of these past experiences, but are really going to make you feel like you're going to be penned in. Eights are about movement and manifestation. The trick with the swords are, and we all struggle with the swords as a suit, but the swords are knowledge base, and events and situations happen, and we apply our feelings to them. We're human, and in our nature, we're emotional beings, so we attach those emotions. And then when there's those emotions we can't release, or they're not something that our body wants to hold on to, those loving, happy emotions, we start to really pen ourselves in to a point that you almost feel confined, not only by all these pieces, but you physically feel confined to your bed because of the anxiety and depression. The trick is going to be that these feelings are really going to come up, and they're going to really slow you down. There's a lot you can do and achieve. You've got the Magician. He's really ruling the month for you. It's going to be focusing in on those positive pieces, releasing what isn't working. We also have the Six of Pentacles. That's going to be our challenge this month overall, is keeping our balance. And this is what this is talking about. The beginning of the month is really going to give us that opportunity to release some of these feelings. Even acknowledging and not giving those feelings power anymore will help loosen the binds, because the the emotions that we've attached to the knowledge, because swords, they're not emotional, they're cold hard steel. Those emotions have bound us up. Really acknowledging, looking at them for what they are. I'm not asking people to forgive. There's a lot of things that have happened in our lives that are unforgivable, but you can stop giving them the power over you. And it's going to be that shift. December's going to offer you that ability to shift out of some of that, so that not only are you going to be entering 2020 on a very different energy level, you're going to be able to overcome some of the challenges of family and friends at Christmas. Let's go on to the middle of the month. What does the middle of the month, what challenges will my Aries friends face there? The Ace of Cups. Aces are a beginning and an ending. The Ace of Cups is also known as the Holy Grail. And it's going to be really kind of maintaining that energy and connection. We're going to want to run away and hide from the drama, the chaos, that energy. However, the more you run and hide, the more they're going to seek you out. Alright? It's going to be almost that you have to not get into those arguments, but diffuse and be that very strong pillar and try and shift out those energies. When you've got those very dramatic and very needy individuals in your family and friends, it's going to be focusing in on those people who are not part of it, people who are being lost. Kind of giving them more the power than the drama queens and kings and those people who really are going to be focusing in and trying to take the limelight away from this very wonderful time of, and it's important to remember, of that hope and connection piece. Now we do have double aces. We have the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Swords. And when you have the angel messages, what they're saying with double ones is that you're going to be attracting what you think. What you are focusing on is really what's going to be coming back at you. And both these aces are really connected into, what's happening. What you're putting out in the beginning of the month, you're going to get back in. And again in the middle. Really, you can shift things by putting out that positive love and high vibration energy. Shifting out of the low gear. Let's look at the end of the month. What obstacles and challenges will my Aries friends face at the end of December? That's the Ten of Wands. Now the Ten of Wands is usually an individual that is overworked, exhausted, and isn't able to keep up. The Ten of Wands talks about working really, really hard. And not only is it's not so much about that hard work that we're worried about, it's more about working harder than you need to. And as a challenge card or an obstacle, that's really what you're looking at. You're going to be putting out a lot of energy and shifting, not only yourself but others throughout December. So you're really going to feel almost like that burnt out space. Really reflecting at the end of the year, or well, I guess the end of the year and the end of the month, about that working harder than you need to. Kind of relinquish some of that power and asking people to support you at the end of December is probably a fairly good idea. There's a lot going on, right? How can you work more efficiently so that you can reach what it is the universe really wants you to be focusing in on? And that's the meaning behind the Four of Cups. You've achieved a lot, but the universe keeps trying to offer you that holy grail, that one cup that you're missing. reflecting on what it is the universe wants you to do for that next year, the next step. Giving yourself that time and energy is going to be really important. So let's go on to how we can really embrace high vibrational energies in December. What can my Aries friends do at the beginning of December to help raise their vibration? We have a jumper, the Magician and the Mirror, very much connected into the tarot card of the Magician. Making sure that you connect into that energy where you're drawing down that universal energy of light and love, using the skills and abilities that really come to the forefront, those ones that you always kind of refer to, they're your golden tools and abilities. Using those to bring you out of that very low vibrational energy and embracing that high vibrational energy. The Magician in the Mirror, he too holds an infinity symbol. That drawing down that universal loving energy is going to be key for you. Let's look at the middle of the month. What can my Aries friends do to raise their vibration in the middle of December? The Garden and the Gate. Recognizing where you're at, and in some cases where other people are at, and really embracing those positive, beautiful flowers within your own backyard. We have amazing gifts and abilities. Even those challenging aunts and cousins that you don't really get along with that well, they too have gifts and abilities, and they are flowers in their own right. They may not be your favorite flower, but they're flowers in their own right. What do they give you as an individual, and what lessons are you supposed to learn from them? We're drawn into different families and friends, and they all have skills and abilities. They have things to teach us and help guide us. Focusing in on those pieces. Not on, oh my God, that storm, or I can't believe they said that. Focusing in on that positive little flower that is within them. The Magician comes back to me here. That balance piece is going to be key, right? Taking that time, stepping away. Don't run away, because the Ace of Cups says as you withdraw too much, they're going to seek you out. Balancing, taking that breath, making sure you are really well grounded to be able to diffuse and transmute their energies, those lower vibrational energies, into a higher vibrational energy. Let's look at the end of the month. What can my Aries friends do to raise their vibration at the end of the month? Financial constraints. It's kind of a perfect card for the end of the month, because because the universe doesn't want us focusing in on those, oh, I need to pay off the car, I need to replace the fridge. Those really financially based burdens that we have, they may be true, but that's not where you need to be focusing our energies. We need to focus our energies on that development, that personal and spiritual path that we're on, that evolution. That's where we need to focus ourselves on. This is low vibration. We need to focus in on the high vibration. When we focus in on the high vibration, the universe helps figure out how to pay off that crazy car that you have to pay for, the fridge, the the dentist bills, whatever those financial constraints are. All right, let's look at some skills and tools. What's going to help my Aries friends overcome the challenges, oh, we got a jumper, of December? The first one really talks about that first part of the month, the Devil. The 15th card in the Major Arcana, and those are those vices, those coping strategies that we use. Many of them no longer serve that higher purpose that will help us really focus in and raise our vibration. Many times our coping mechanisms and strategies are given to us via our parents or your grandparents. Again, we go back to that familial energy, and without question, we accept them. We learn how our parents overcome challenges, how those important individuals in our lives overcome challenges. And we start to bring in their gifts and abilities, their coping mechanisms. It may work for them, and it may work for you for a short time. Without tweaking and really reflecting on it, we can't make sure that they are working to our highest ability. Additionally, as we evolve and change, if they don't keep up, it's kind of silly to keep them. For example, my kind of go-to example is when we're kids, we all know the boogeyman cannot get you if you're under the blankets. So you run and hide, and you feel better. Right? Many people fall asleep that way, especially when they were scared. Avoidance is not a coping mechanism that works well right now. So really reflecting on those coping mechanisms, those value sets, those bigger, deeper pieces that really are at our core will help not only shift you out of the 8 and 9 of Swords, it will help you really reflect into the middle of the month when we're dealing with the 5 of Swords. These swords have things to teach us. Sometimes it's those bigger picture pieces that we need to take on so that we can have that evolution. Questioning why we do things can help us really see people for who they are and their gifts and flowers that they've given us. The King of Swords. Again, we go to that knowledge piece. There's a lot of knowledge that this can bring us. Like I said, really questioning those core values will help you move forward. You can take the knowledge of the 8, the 9, and the 5 of Swords and really use it to your benefit. Make sure you can get some good use and evolution and transformation out of the beginning of December, because the new year offers us more. Being able to really grasp on to that cup, that holy grail that's offered to us at the end of the month. And finally, the Fool. What a great card to end that off on. Fantastic. That trusting in that universe, that leap of faith, knowing the Fool always has all that he needs or all that she needs with him. The original card that Pamela Coleman Smith drew has a man, he's got this fantastic wild tunic on with a wand and his man bag attached to the end. In that bag is all his tools and abilities and everything he's going to need to take on that next step. And that really enthusiastic, carefree energy is going to be needed, especially in the middle of the month and into the end of the month. Well, actually in the beginning of the month, that carefree, that you've got this, will help as well. December is really going to give you that opportunity to have some major growth and really get that foundation piece for the new year and the new decade. Let's end off on a blessing. What blessing do we have for my Aries friends for December? What a fantastic card. Appreciation. Appreciating all that December is going to offer you, those learning opportunities, those abilities to really connect in and appreciate and embrace those flowers, whether they are very thorny and prickly or just very nurturing and loving. Appreciate it. Appreciate where you're at and all that you have achieved so far, knowing that you have got this and knowing that you are going to be able to take that next step forward, well, carefree and trusting in the universe. I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today and throughout the year. I'm going to do a number of videos out throughout December to really highlight the fun and amazing energy that the month brings. And I hope you really enjoyed this video. I hope you're able to gain some direction and insight into what the month is going to hold for you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest content. If you've seen any of my other videos, you really never know where I'm going to go next, and I'd hate for you to miss anything. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page with many tiers and lots of perks. In some of the tiers, the perks are private readings with myself. I've provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out. Until tomorrow, my Aries friends.